Mafex Venom with Mafex Spider-Man. If you notice, the background is a little bit different. It's because this video has been in the process for over a month now. But yeah, it's almost Halloween, so I figured I'd make it a little bit more festive.
Sean Solo Geeks.
Hey, what's going on? It's Sean Solo 8, and today I'm back with another Mafex Medicom Toy action figure review. From the Amazing Spider-Man, we have Venom. This here is the Venom reissue. I do not have the original, so I'm absolutely stoked to be adding this to the collection. As you can see on the top left there, it says, "Die, Spider-Man." He is number 88 in the Mafex line. It says 6" there, and he comes with loads of hands, webbings, 2 extra heads. On the top, it just says Venom, the Amazing Spider-Man, Marvel Venom over here. You get a pretty cool picture of your figure. It says the Amazing Spider-Man Venom, and on this side, you get another picture of your Venom with 2 Venom pictures up there on the top and the bottom. And on the back, it just says Venom, the Amazing Spider-Man Mafex Venom action figure number 88. You can see the 3 heads that he comes with. Accessories, looks like lots of webs and lots of hands. Just wanted to show the background again, how awesome it is. You get a color illustration of a city in the back that looks super cool. And of course, here is your Venom figure. You can see the blue tint and black, and I believe that is what's different on this figure. Magnetic feet, hands, lots of hands actually. And of course, you see your Eddie Brock head mold, 2 comic Venom heads, lots of webbings, and yeah, you can see that cool blue tint on him there. Looks very, very cool. But yeah, this is definitely the reissue. Get your Mafex stand also, which is always a great addition. So here's Venom straight out of the package. Usually there's a piece of plastic around the waist on these Mafex. This one doesn't have that, but I just wanted to show you guys a close-up of the paint, and we will look at it together before I start putting them in some poses. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom up on there in the camera, but you can definitely see blue in there with black, and of course the paint job on this is just absolutely sweet looking. Looks like there's absolutely no blemishes on mine. It says Marvel right there. There's Eddie Brock's butt, and of course, yeah, no peg holes on the bottom of these, because you got magnets on some of them if you wanted to sit them to some metal surface. But you can see the eyes and the head mold look absolutely sweet. Look at that mouth. It actually does go pretty deep in there. Let's see if I can zoom in a little closer. But yeah, you can't quite see way in there. It would have been cool if he had a tongue. You can't see his tongue in there. Definitely would have been a lot cooler though. But yeah, the paint job is great. The mold is beautiful. There you go. You can definitely see the blue and black tint there. And the knees do stand out a little bit right there. But overall, I am very, very pleased to add this to the collection. Let's go ahead and check out some articulation really quick. This head right here looks up about that high. He looks down pretty far. Also, of course, the neck moves all over the place. He does have swappable heads and arms. There's pretty generous butterfly joints in here, which pop back to about right there and there. There's like a drop down arm. There's upper swivel cuts. Looks like double jointed elbows that only pop up to about that high. And of course, you know, all the hands hinge every single direction that you would like. There is a mid cut in the torso, which tilts side to side. It goes back and you can see all the paint all the way through, which looks good. And of course, he crouches down really well also. There's another cut in the waist where, you know, you get a very, very generous bend in the front and a bend in the back, and also side to side there. The legs, looks like, yeah, they do have an extremely generous drop down in that leg. So when you drop it down, he kicks up about that high to give you some pretty epic crunch. Look at that. And then kicks back only to about that far. A slight swivel in that leg. Knees bend about right there with a double joint. And of course, his legs or his feet have really generous rockers and hinges on there too. And of course, yeah, you can transfer those feet with some magnetic feet. His toes do have pretty good articulation. Don't tilt this way much, but he does tilt up really well. Let's change a couple heads. Looks like we're just gonna pop off that head, and we'll start with the Eddie Brock head. There's the peg. You just pop that. I didn't hear a pop, but it does go in there really well. But as you can see, yeah, there's the Eddie Brock head. Looks really, really good. Eddie Brock looks up very well, actually better than the Venom head sculpt. Looks down to about right there. I'm sure you could probably tilt that peg in there. And of course, yeah, just looks super cool. Very, very good comic style. You can see the blue eyes. Really clean. I love the black that they've added in the hair to give it that extra detail. Either that or it's just shading. But yeah, let's pop that off. And it looks like it's just like the Spider-Man where the neck pieces actually pop off. Oh, let's try to do this on camera. There you go. So the peg, yeah, it is bent. So yeah, I'm sure you could tilt it to where you get some better neck articulation. Pop that in and put the other head on. And it's really scary with these because that peg is so small that, you know, you're afraid you're going to break it. And, you know, when you just get these, putting that pressure on, it's scary. There you go, it pops on. But there is the other Venom head, which actually, I think that looks pretty cool. Probably cooler than the other one. But yeah, looks sweet, looks down really, really far. And of course, yeah, it looks up really well too. So this head, I don't know what it was about the other head, but this one actually looks better. But let's start getting Venom into some poses and show off some of his webs and hands. And we'll move on from there. Here's Mafex Venom with Mafex Spider-Man. If you notice, the background is a little bit different. It's because this video has been in the process for over a month now. But yeah, it's almost Halloween, so I figured I'd make it a little bit more festive. But this one here, those are his like claw grabbing hands that he comes with. But overall, man, this Venom is fantastic. Let me show you another set of hands. Venom also comes with almost identical as the other hands, except the finger is a little bit like a trigger finger. Oh, that's a magnetic hand. Where did they go? Oh, this one here. The finger is, and hand and thumb is a little bit higher up, as you can see, just right there. But yeah, these hands right here are like claw grabbing hands too. So, and again, yeah, another cool pose. And here's Venom with his fist on, which amazingly Spider-Man is staying on that stand. I think that's why I'm filming this part. I know it's not the best looking pose in the world, but yeah, Venom comes with some pretty darn cool fists. Sweet figure, man, no doubt. Look at that guy. Definitely worthy. And here's a shot of Mafex Venom on the Mafex flight stand that he comes with one of his webs, which actually is an absolute pain in the butt to get him in his hands. It's way harder than it should be. Just saying. This one here, let me zoom in up on this just to give you an idea of how I got it in there. But once you get it in, I would recommend just leaving it in there and putting it back in his package, because getting them in and out of his hand is an absolute nightmare. But you got to admit, it does look damn cool, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and put him in his web shooting poses, and we'll go that way. Originally, before I go anywhere else, I did try his other hands that he comes with, which one is it? These ones here, where he's actually got like a trigger finger, because those do hold his webs better, but it's almost impossible to get him to have that web vertical like that with that hand on there. But let's try him just a couple more poses and we'll move on. And here's our Mafex Venom with his old school symbiote form of shooting the web. And yeah, you just pop off the hand and you peg it on this hand here. And as you can see, I have his little web swinging one too. And he actually does come with two of those also. And you can see, yeah, they are beautiful. And they actually do bend into shape. So if you wanted to bend these a little bit, you can. But you know, there is a risk of breaking these, which would be an absolute bummer. So what do you guys think of Mafex Venom so far? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video so far, kindly throw a thumbs up on it too. I would definitely appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and try those magnetic hands, and I'll be right back. And lastly, as you can see with his magnetic hands, he's a little bit top heavy, so he does have a little bit of trouble standing there, but you can see the blue tint looks really good from there too. Don't mind the dust on that back shelf. I am doing a little bit of redesigning, but yeah, those magnetic feet and hands are pretty groovy. To give you guys a close-up look of the magnets, as you can see, yeah, and they do have articulation on the bottom too. Now that we've seen Eddie Brock in action, let's just do a few size comparisons. Here he is next to the all-new, reissued Mafex Spider-Man. And then let's also check him out to the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. Actually, they look really good together. And while we're here, let's go ahead and put up another villain. We've got the Shocker, which is actually kind of weird how much taller he is. But again, these are two different lines completely. Here is Mafex Venom to my recently, sorry about that, just dropped my pumpkins. Recently reviewed Sentinel Miles Morales. Go ahead and throw him up here, which I actually am over the moon about this figure. If you want, you can check that review out too, but that height comparison looks really good also. And a few more side comparisons. Here he is next to the integrated suit Spider-Man from Marvel Legends, and also the retro Spider-Man from Marvel Legends. So yeah, looks pretty cool. Now these two are going to be a little bit dusty, but here he is next to the Marvel Legends movie version of Venom, and my goodness, look at that size comparison. That's crazy. Let's go ahead and throw up another Venom who's probably really dusty, but here he is next to the Marvel Legends Deluxe Venom, and my goodness, what a size difference, huh? Let's take those guys out of there. And another dusty figure that I've had on the shelf for quite some time is Marvel Legends Carnage. And finally, we'll do the new Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. But overall, you know, I absolutely love this figure. The amount of accessories you get, I think it was worth the price of admission. The only downside I see is those webs fitting him in his hands is definitely tricky. But if you guys are new around here, consider subscribing and check out one of these videos up on the screen, and I will see you guys in the next video.